Welcome back. Taking a full look at weather now. Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca.
Hey there, Veronica. It has been another interesting day on the Central Coast. We've been talking about this weather roller coaster ride we've been on. And no end in sight as some interesting things are going to be happening in the next couple of days. But here's a live spooky look at Domenico's on the Wharf, or from Domenico's on the Wharf. We can see some movement still out there tonight in the boats. There is a little bit of wind, but the winds have generally been dying down, and expect them to continue that trend as we head into a cold, crisp fall morning. Our clouds visibility tracker showing great visibility. When you don't have any moisture in the air, you can see pretty far. And so that means if you go outside and look at the stars, they're going to appear fairly bright to you tonight. Although you might want to bring a jacket because it's already getting pretty chilly out there. And we'll see those coastal temperatures even dipping into the low 40s. And in some cases, we may even sneak into the 30s for coastal cities overnight tonight. Inland areas will be even colder as the cold air settles into the valleys tonight. This cold air is being sourced from the north, coming in from the backside of this weather system that's storming across the plains tonight. Brought some severe weather to portions of the Midwest and plenty of snow from Colorado up into Montana and the Dakotas. High pressure off to our west is going to keep building in. Will actually warm our high temperatures a bit more tomorrow and maybe even for some areas on Tuesday. But we've got a cold, crisp night ahead to get through. And we're not having any blankets of clouds to help us out with it as we head through the overnight hours. Let's take a look at what you can expect tomorrow morning when you wake up. Clear skies to start the day. When you see that sunrise, you won't have any clouds in the way. You might have to scrape your windows in some areas, and your car might protest a little bit when you try and turn it over. Those batteries they sell around here, they just don't handle the cold weather all that well. Maybe you have a better one. You probably do. Mine is just like, nah. It's cold out, man. I ain't starting for you today. So we head into the afternoon hours tomorrow. It is going to be gorgeous. So we're going to start cold, and then tomorrow afternoon is going to be beautiful. Notice there's no clouds, not much wind tomorrow. There's basically just a moving clock on this map. So I'm just going to keep advancing it. Oh, something interesting happens tomorrow night. Onshore flow will return tomorrow night and bring a little bit of low cloud cover potentially to the peninsula, which will probably be in the form of some fog. But in the meantime, tomorrow afternoon looking gorgeous. It's just tomorrow morning we got to get through. So let's talk about some lows. I did update these from earlier. Here's what I'm expecting now. We talked about the entire viewing area from the Weather Service being under a frost advisory. I'm not expecting frost everywhere though. Here's where we could see some. The San Lorenzo Valley certainly could see some frost. Boulder Creek overnight down to 35. And around 35 you start seeing frost on different surfaces. And keep in mind, when I forecast a low for any of these locations, for Santa Cruz for example, that 40 degrees is an average of the temperature I expect to be across the city limits. So if you live on the north side of town, it could be a lot colder. Down along the water, where the water temperature is affecting the air temperature, could be a little bit warmer. The same is true in places like Ben Lomond and Boulder Creek. We've got a variety of terrain there. You could be on the valley bottom or you could be on the hillside. That 35 is an average. So in the very bottom of the valley, where that air collects, that cold air collects and lakes up, well, we could be dealing with some frost tomorrow morning. So the downtown area of Boulder Creek, for example, you could see some frost, okay? Same thing in Ben Lomond and Felton. In low areas where that air settles in, frost will certainly be possible. Same thing in Scotts Valley. We know how cold Lockhart Gulch gets in Scotts Valley, and it could be a frosty morning for you as well. Down on the coast, a little different story. The lows are just warm enough that frost would be pretty rare. It's still possible in some low areas, but not expected to be a big issue. Upper 30s for most cities close to the bay. On the east shore of the bay, low 40s, Prunedale, Salinas. Mid-30s in San Juan Bautista could see a little frost there. That Fremont peak downdraft tends to get you a little frosty at times. Over to the Monterey Peninsula, lows mostly in the low 40s tomorrow morning. We get down to 40 in Monterey. And as you head east of town along the 68 corridor, maybe some patchy frost. Same thing in Carmel. You start heading into Mid-Valley, maybe some patchy frost for you. In Carmel Valley itself, the Village area, we could see patchy frost there certainly. And in the Salinas Valley, places south of King City, I think will have a much better chance of seeing frost. Of course, the San Antonio Valley at 32 overnight, you're going to see frost. Parkfield, you're going to see frost. The Pinnacles in those low areas, you're going to see frost as well. So our higher valleys, definitely nearest the coast, it's going to be patchy at best, okay? Over the next 7 days, temperatures warming up a little bit tomorrow for your high and then kind of cooling off a bit. Another weather system is going to slide through Tuesday. It could bring us a little bit of drizzle. It'll be followed by dry winds again, but not quite as strong. This system won't be as strong as the one that just came through. So all of the effects that we saw with this system will be a little bit more moderate, I think, with this next one. Inland areas warmest tomorrow, at least for the highs, coldest tomorrow for the lows, and then moderating as that next system comes through. We'll see a little bit of wind with it and then level off with fair conditions through the weekend. Veronica.